What's up, everybody? I hope you all are fine. Hope you all are healthy and doing well. I am back to uh, bring you another muse. Um, as of right now, I have just dropped the most recently recorded one. And the reason I dropped it now is because I just got to 5 topics for this one. So who knows when this one's gonna drop? But I'll just record it now. We're gonna cover 5 topics, and some of them are having directly to do with my life. So if this takes kind of a turn, that's kind of why. I kind of came to some realizations this week, and kind of wanted to share those. So yeah, but first thing I'm going to cover, just because it just happened, is I just found out that Muhammad Ali passed away at the age of 74. He was diagnosed with, I believe it was Parkinson's disease in 1984. So, to see him, live 32 more years after that, it's just amazing. But he was definitely the greatest boxer to ever put on a pair of gloves. And I've only seen his fights on tape. Again, my grandmother taught me a love for combat sports, whether it be wrestling, boxing, MMA. My grandmother instilled a love of combat sports in my ass that runs deep. So, that's why I talk so much about, combat sports. And it's why I don't make it any secret that I love combat sports. But as much and as, revolutionary as he was in boxing, I feel like he did more to help society through philanthropic efforts and through, you know, the different fights for civil rights and stuff in the '60s and stuff. So, and that stuff shouldn't be forgotten either, because I feel like everybody's going to talk about, what he did in a boxing ring as an entertainer, and that stuff is all well and good, and it should be celebrated, it should be talked about, but everything else that he did in his life should be talked about as well. I did a report on him in the 5th grade, because we had to pick, each of us were assigned a state, and we had to pick a famous person from a state and do a report on them. Well, I was assigned Kentucky, and I did some research and found out Muhammad Ali was from Louisville, Kentucky. So he's who I did part of that report on. And in doing the research for that report, and I can't believe I still remember this from 5th grade, but in doing the research for that report, I found out that the medal that he got from the Olympics for boxing, he actually threw it. I believe it was the Ohio River. Might have been in Mississippi, but I want to say it was the Ohio River. And I didn't know at the time why he did it, because I was only in 5th grade. So, but as I got older, I learned more about him, and I did more research, and I found out why his protest, the ways that he chose to protest certain, you know, certain things that were going on that were just egregious, were just, you know, crazy, but they proved his point, and they proved that he wasn't afraid to stand up for what he believed in or stand alone if he had to. So, you know, as much as, you know, I loved him as a boxer, as much as he's the greatest boxer ever lived, that's probably what I'm going to remember most about him. And I don't feel like anybody's going to talk about that much, because everybody's going to focus on, you know, his best fights, or, you know, what he did in the boxing ring, what he did as an entertainer. But, you know, let's take a minute and let's think about the stuff that he did to help society as a whole as well, because that shouldn't be glossed over or overlooked either, because he did a lot. So, with that said, I'm just going to say, and wrap this part of this up, RIP to the greatest that ever lived, Muhammad Ali. I love you, I miss you, and I'll never forget what you did, both in the ring and in society. Alright, now, this is going to be kind of controversial because I have my own thoughts on the whole tragedy that happened at the Cincinnati Zoo, and I'm not going to rehash it for those that don't know. If you want to find out what exactly happened, it's all over. You can find it. Just do a Google search for Cincinnati Zoo, and it'll probably come up in the first 2 or 3 Google articles. But my thoughts on the whole deal is, or are this: that is fucking worst parenting. That's bad parenting. How the hell are you gonna take your kids to the zoo, look away, knowing that the kid said he wanted to go in, like he wanted to try to get into the moat, and you turn away, and next thing you hear is a splash, and your kid's in the moat? What are you doing? If you cannot watch your kids, people, don't take them to public places like zoos or sporting events or anything like that. Because kids at that age, at like 4, 5, 6 years old, kids will book away if you're not watching them. Trust me. I've got a 3-year-old nephew that's the same way. If you don't watch him, his ass will book. I agree with the decision to shoot the damn gorilla, but I think it could have been prevented if the mother would have been paying attention to her goddamn child. I don't have any ill will towards the zoo for having to shoot Harambe. I understand that tranquilizers take more time to take effect and would have likely agitated him more, and he probably would have ended up doing something to the kid, more than is being reported that he did. So I understand it. I'm glad the kid's okay. I have heard that the parents of this young man are looking at, charges are being looked into. But my only problem with that is, you're gonna charge the mom and the dad. The dad wasn't even fucking there. So how can you charge somebody that wasn't even fucking there? If you're gonna charge anybody, charge the mom. Because it was her irresponsibility that caused this to happen. And that's just my thoughts on that. Parental irresponsibility caused something to happen that didn't have to happen. Watch your kids when you're in public. If you don't, shit like this this happens. And for the like newspapers and stuff that aren't here, they're saying boycott the zoo for the shooting of the gorilla. Dude, fuck you. Or boycott the city for the shooting of the fuck you, okay? You ain't here, you don't know, shut your mouth. They did what they thought was the best thing they could have done. They trained for this, they understood this, it was a very difficult decision. Fuck you. Anyway, that's enough of that because I just can't. Alright. Next, please. Take that off so I forget that Okay. Just a little something about me that you may not know. Most men I automatically don't like, whether I know them or not. I automatically don't like them just because of everything that I've been through in my life and how men have treated me over the years. 99% of most of men in the world, I would be more likely to punch in the throat before I'd ever shake their hand. That being said, if you can get me to a place where I would shake your hand before I would ever punch in the throat, you've done something. Not only have you done something, you've done something very, very meaningful to me, and that puts you in rarefied air. I'm not going to go into details about what that is, because not everybody needs to know. But trust me, some dude I don't even know done something very, very meaningful and very, very hopeful for me, and he really didn't have to. Appreciate it from him. I appreciate the understanding, and yeah, I would shake his hand before I'd ever punch him in the throat. Now, should things change and things go south between him and his girl, that'll change because I'll punch him in the throat, and she knows that. But it's very rare, does happen, and I appreciate it. Another thing I kind of learned this week, and this is a story I actually will share, because I don't care. If I just vanish, people actually would go nuts. And I figured this out totally on accident. I can't remember when this was, so Heidi's gonna have to help me out with the details here, but it was a bad night. I was in ungodly amounts of pain, and I figured if I go to sleep, maybe I won't have to feel pain and, whatever. Didn't happen that way. I still felt every bit of pain that coursed through my body, even though I was asleep. But I just went to sleep. I didn't tell anybody I was going to sleep. I just went. Well, I talk to Heidi every morning. I haven't missed a day with her since she came back a couple months ago. And so I didn't think anything about it, because she has always told me, if you don't answer, I just assume you passed out and went to sleep. Okay, cool. So, because I was in so much pain, passed out, went to sleep, didn't think anything of it. I woke up to a blown up phone, people trying to find me, voicemails trying to find me, and it took me like a day and a half to get her to calm her ass down, because she thought that I had taken a park trip and done harm to myself, which, for the record, I haven't. I think I want to say 75, 80 days maybe. So, but that's just for the record. And I don't blame her for thinking that, because, you know, if I was her, my head would have gone there too. But it showed me that even if it's just one, somebody does actually care enough to lose their shit if I disappear. Most of the time, I feel like if I just disappeared, it wouldn't really matter. Now, even if one person, I know different. So I learned this week. That's a good lesson to have learned. Alright, and the last thing I'm going to cover here, and this one I actually posted in a Facebook post, but as I thought about this after I posted it, there were only, they said there were only 5 advanced Mikey-nomics degrees to ever be earned. As I was thinking about it, I think there are 7. Because Jimmy and Jenny have one each. Becca's got one. Heidi's got one. Tony's got one. That's 5. Ashley's got one. And Helen actually has one too. So there are only 7 of them to ever be earned. And believe me, they're hard to earn. The basic Mikey-nomics 101 degree, that's a hard one to earn too, but it's easier to earn than the advanced degree. So trust me, if you have put in the time to get the advanced Mikey-nomics degree, you have done some time and you have earned some shit. So to the 7 of those people, I love y'all. Thanks for putting the time in. Thanks for wanting to earn that. And thanks for, you know, loving me enough to stick that out, because I know it wasn't easy. That's not to say that others can't do that in the future. But as of right now, there's only 7 advanced degrees ever been earned. And 5 living, so just a little food thought. I was thinking about that the other day, and yeah, so anyway, that is all I've got for this particular time and place. 20 minutes in, we are good to go. I love y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for fostering. Thanks for the support. And we'll be back again soon with a little bit more. And the June Blu-ray blowout is going to be on a scale of epicness that is just nuts. I am hoping to post that on or about um, July 5th, I think. Just to give stuff time to come in. Don't have a lot. That is, I have some pre-orders coming in July, but I have wrestling tickets to get in July. So, and there's not really, other than my pre-orders, much coming out in July that I want to get. So I may hold the July pickups over until August and do a July-August together. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, I love y'all. That was just a little housekeeping. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.